Oh, my friends.
That is what I call a masterpiece. I mean,
Oh, it's a masterpiece, my friends. This is one of the best channels ever. I love controllings. My friends, look, I started the video saying, what the hell is a loaded baked potato? I was like, maybe this is nothing that special. Now I want to try it so bad. My friends, if you leave a like, this will be the next thing on my cooking show. If you guys leave a like, trust me, I will do it. Damn, I would pay so much money to eat that. Today I'll be reacting to how to make the ultimate loaded baked potato. My friends, a lot of you guys end up suggesting this one, but I have to be honest here. What the hell is a loaded baked potato? I have no idea. I guess I'll find out more in a second. So, before I go into that, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much. It is the best way to show support. Now, if you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Link for the original video in my description, and let's play it.
well, the pups have gathered all around because they know this is a winning recipe. Loaded.
Okay, to be fair, sorry. My friends, I never saw potatoes this big. What is going on here?
Baked potato. Folks, we cannot load any more in there. We done got as much as it'll go. It's about to bust apart at the seams. But there is tips, there is tricks that you need to know to make this the best thing you've ever seen in
like
your
what?
life.
Holy, okay, those potatoes are massive. Yo, my friends, this is kind of like a sandwich or something.
Well, thank y'all for stopping by under the barn and loaded baked potato. Yeah, that's what is happening today. There's certain ways that you got to cook a potato. It ain't like, I'm going to throw it in the oven, walk off and leave it, and I ain't never going to check on it again. We're going to walk you through how to get the...
Okay, the thing is, my friends, this will be... I believe this is probably an easy recipe, but this could be a difficult one for me because American potatoes are massive.
Crispiest potatoes.
Where the hell I'm going to find one of those?
Skin on the outside of this beautiful russet that is volunteered today, but also loaded up with a full-blown meal that you don't want to miss. You know, the folks at Ariat always have me dressed up looking really nice, they do. And they are sponsoring this video, so we're going to need y'all's help also. I need you to go on over there to Ariat.com, pick out something you'd love to see me wear in an upcoming video, and we will give you a shout out, give you recognition that you picked it out to help me look this good.
So you're going to need some stylists.
I am going to need some stylists. Don't go plumb crazy on me, but pick out something you think that I'd really look suave and debonair in. Now, y'all might have seen it, and we did a baked potato video some time back and explained the tips and the tricks to how to get that crispy skin and that potato cooked just right. And yes, I'm going to walk you back through it because there's certain tips that you need to know. Who would have ever thought?
This is amazing because I didn't saw that video.
There, you're going to use a temperature probe to see if your tater is done. But folks, we need to start out with a russet because they are the best. Got about 2 cups of water.
Rusted. You guys talk about this type of potatoes multiple times. Even when it comes to make hash browns, you guys always recommend this one.
Water in there, and we're going to put some salt in there.
Salt, I have that.
Now, you've heard of brining meat, but this is going to brine that potato just a little. We're not going to leave it in there long. I just want to give it a good coating of that salt water because that's going to help crisp that skin up. Then just place them on that wire rack and just let them drain there for a minute. Now, as they're doing that, and we're going to slide them right over here if we can, go ahead and get you a good fork, something. Pierce them taters to where we can let some of that moisture out so that skin don't crack and explode.
What are you eating?
What size potato is that?
I would call this the jumbo large russet.
Yeah, that's I call that the American size. That's impossible to find. You know what, my friends? Leave a like if I should still try to do this recipe, even if my potatoes are a bit small. Because let's be honest, I live in Europe. We don't have things that massive.
He come all the way from Idaho on a boat today. Rode right down here, he did. Now, potatoes, hey, they're pretty cheap.
He's killing the potato.
And when we get through with this loaded deal, folks, you're going to think to yourself, this is a full-blown meal, something that you're going to have at least once or twice a week. Now, a
Okay.
lot of you, when you
I
go to
like
baked
that.
potato, and I did for a long time, roll them things in tinfoil, sometimes roll them up twice, stick them in the oven and bake them. The best way to really get the best baked potato, good and crispy skin, there's no
What?
wrapping involved whatsoever,
No
folks.
wrapping?
No wrapping. I mean, we need no wrapping them taters. I ain't talking about maters. We gonna have some taters, yeah.
That's in a very good rap.
Well,
This man is
you
a
don't wrap
legend.
taters, so I couldn't get all into it.
Okay.
So go ahead, while these is drying out, preheat your oven in the house to 450 degrees. Yeah, we need to be really hot, we do. And then we're gonna slide them in there just like this. If you was in the house on a baking sheet, just slide them in there and they're gonna cook
You know what's crazy? I may not have those potatoes, but I have that shit.
for about
I didn't said what I said. Shit. Sorry.
an hour.
Hey.
and-
So you, wait,
some
you put
change.
them on the rack?
Yes, put them on a rack, set them in a baking pan or a cookie sheet. That way you've got ventilation in here. Now you can just lay them straight on the rack in your oven, you can, but I prefer you do it on this wire rack. I'm gonna meet y'all
You know what, my friends? So far, so damn easy. I'm starting to believe this could be next for the cooking show.
over here at the Dutch oven because we ain't doing them in the house.
Okay, let's go.
You're thinking, that's an awful big oven to be cooking just them taters in. Well, it is, but folks, I ain't got a wire rack that'll fit in a
Look at the amount of machines this man owns. They look the same, but this one does crazy things. The other, this may be a smoker, the one may be a grill, I'm assuming. Crazy machines.
14 and or 12, and I need a little more space than what that wire rack is going to give me. So, you know them trivets we sell? I took the legs out of this one. I'm going to set him right down there in that expanded metal that I cut to size to fit. There's about 1 inch of airspace in between that rack and the potatoes. Just lay them.
Yeah, my friends, if I do this, I'm gonna do it in the oven. No. I respect the cooking outside, but this is so much work.
Straight down in there, put the lid on them, and let's get some coals.
Let's go, my friend. Oh, look at the American power. The smoke, American power, my friends. Why is the Batman getting focus
You know, when
and
you're
not
baking
me?
potatoes, it takes really a lot of heat in a Dutch oven to get things really started. You can manage that by really putting a really heavy ring around the bottom and load up heavy on top. Because folks, remember,
This is why the music Ring of Fire is so famous. I understand it now.
we got 1 inch space in there between the potatoes and the bottom. That's going to keep that from burning. But if you're in a house, you're going to cook these about 55, 60 minutes, maybe a little more. But we're going to probe them, and when they reach that magic temperature of 210 degrees, then we're going to put a little trick on them to make things just crisp up so nice. And if you're doing this in a Dutch oven, make sure you got plenty of coals, because you may have to refire this oven when you're talking about a 45-minute cook. Now, we're not going to be rotating them taters and rolling it around, because when we got that lid off, folks, we're losing a lot of that heat, and we need to try to keep that temperature constant pretty close to 450 degrees.
Makes
When we're
sense.
going to regulate that heat and you think, is it hot enough? Are we still cooking? You've been on 30 minutes or something. Take your hand, put it right down there about a hand width away from them coals. If you can hold that
What?
more than 5 seconds, it's not hot enough. But I guarantee you, if you start out with good hardwood like a mesquite or oak or good hardwood lump, you're going to be able to maintain that heat and use
My friends, this wood that Kent Rolling stocks all the time, mosquito is something that I go dead. You know what I mean? What is this? Mosquito type of wood?
that. Do not use a soft wood, because it's not going to make enough heat to make you a coal.
Okay, my friends, this part we can ignore. Let's all be honest, because most of us will be doing this in
We've been
the
on
oven.
about 40 minutes, so it's time we check them taters. So I'm going to pull out my chef's temp, and we are going to see what the temperature
Another machine.
is. So we're going to get the lid back on there and let them finish cooking out, but it's time to throw the steak on the grill. About a
The
12-ounce
steak? Wait. The steak? Oh, I was not expecting. Oh, okay, interesting, really interesting. So we are going to put pieces of the steak inside of the potato. My friends, am I crazy? Is this a possibility? I thought this was illegal, honestly.
New York strip here, certified Angus beef, and y'all have seen me cook a lot of steaks, and we're just going to season this the same way I always do. Little lime juice,
Lime
Remember,
juice.
we're not making margaritas. Lime juice is a natural tenderizer, breaks down connective tissue in meat, which makes things more tender.
And you know what makes me happy? I actually have that season. Yeah, I have that. One of the viewers sent me, and I'm so happy because I believe he's going to use that. So if I make this recipe, I have the most important thing, the seasoning part.
If you don't believe me, ask the bee. He is right there. He will tell you the fact. Now, I always season my steaks with our original seasoning.
The best
Make sure
one.
that you get
Look
it
at the
seasoned
color.
well. It is time to throw.
Sorry, I'm afraid I'm pausing too much. But the other day I did some burgers and I ended up using that seasoning. And my friends, mamma mia. And I'm not even Italian.
The beef on the grill, and it is one of my favorite things. It is. Remember, we're going to cook this on the indirect side for so long, so I'll meet y'all over here. And when we're talking indirect, remember, all the fire is down there on that end, and this is a hot one, so we're going to cook down here where there ain't no fire.
Wait. But can I do this in my cast iron pan? I cannot do indirect heat on that pan because my machine directs all the heat to the pan.
I'm going to shut that lid. I'm going to throw me in a little mesquite. We're going to give it a little mesquite.
You know what? For a moment, I thought it was bacon. I was like, they have the flow. Okay, I'm pausing too much. Sorry, I'm having too much fun with this video.
Fire. I'm going to shut that lid. I'm going to throw me in a little mesquite. We're going to give it a little mesquite bath there to go with it.
Mesquite.
Time to check these things. It is. When you get to 200 degrees, which is about where we're at, 197, 98.
Perfect.
I need you to get you about 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and I need you
What? So I can use the Portuguese butter on this? Oh yeah, I'm gonna try it.
to coat this top side with it.
Oh
Now,
man.
one of my more favorite things to put on here is bacon grease. So if you got some of that, be sure and put it on there. We're gonna cook them probably about 10 more minutes, and they'll be ready.
You know what's crazy? The potatoes end up shrinking. What? So if I use small potatoes, I have nothing to eat.
Ready to go, but it is time we check that steak. This steak has been on there about 4 minutes, it has, and we need to put her down there and let it get some color on that end. But you know how you get a baked potato and they always be bringing you cold sour cream and cold butter to put on it? If you're hot, like something you want to eat, why cool it off? So folks, let's just blend this stuff together right off the bat. We're
What?
going to take
More butter?
about half a stick of that
Portuguese
wonderful
butter goes
pure
in.
gold butter, and we're going to let it melt, and then we're going to add us about 4 or 5 tablespoons of sour cream, a little bit of smoked paprika, and ooh, that folks is going to be good to pour on whatever you got it on.
Okay.
Well, that steak be about done to my liking, it is. So let's go ahead and bring this melted butter over, and oh my gosh, that thing was hot. You see me leave that steak on the far indirect side where it wasn't going to hurt. And folks, the rosemary is trying to blow away here. So let me get it in there before anybody else. Whoop, that went about half of it, Shen. Now, we're going to add a little smoked paprika to this.
Yeah, I have
because
that.
I like the flavor that it brings out.
I'm gonna say one thing. Americans do smoke paprika a lot. What is going on here?
And then it is time to blend us in some sour cream. If we'd have done this all together right at the start, it would have got way too watery. So you're gonna pull that butter off after it's melted, and then let
You know what would be a great idea? Some cheese. Maybe this is a crazy idea, my friends, but I think cheese makes everything look much better.
let's mix all this in and try to get us a smooth consistency. I would say that was the perfect pourable consistency.
Looks
I would.
beautiful, my friend.
We're gonna let that sit right there. That steak is done, I promise you. So we're gonna pull it off over here and get it sliced up paper thin and get them potatoes out. And ooh, we're
Let's
gonna do
go.
the magic dance because it's gonna
I
be some
cannot wait.
fine dining.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh boy. I see where we are going. And it's straight to heaven. Whew, the American power. Oh boy. I'm telling my friends, this will be good, but if this had some cheese on the top, a lot, I actually would put some cheese and put in the oven again just to, no? Maybe some bacon. I said it. Oh! What cheese is that? American cheese. I'm gonna have to use cheddar, by the way, because American cheese is illegal in Europe. Just to make it okay. Perfect. Oh. So, my friends.
That is what I call a masterpiece. I mean,
it's a masterpiece, my friends. This is one of the best channels ever. I love Kind Rollings. My friends, look, I started the video saying, what the hell is a loaded baked potato? I was like, maybe this is nothing that special. Now I want to try it so bad. My friends, if you leave a like, this will be the next thing on my cooking show. If you guys leave a like, trust me, I will do it. Damn, I would pay so much money to eat that.
I don't even know where to begin to eat on this thing is, but I told Shan, I said, I just served 4 people right there. She said, yep, or 1 beagle. Now, as soon as them potatoes hit 210, get them out of there, cut them instantly, because when you don't cut them quick, you're letting all that steam just sit in there. And what does steam make? Moisture. What does moisture make? Soggy potatoes. And then you
science.
Layer it how you see fit. But that sauce, folks, if you'll put some of that in there first and then just go to layering that goodness on there. And if you need to thin that sauce, Shan come up with a pretty good idea, because we topped this with pickled jalapenos. She just straight.
Ooh, I thought that was pickles, but it's pickled jalapenos. This is some type of crazy technology that Americans own.
A little of that juice right in there and stirred it up. But this would also work well with some of our pork butt that we done on that video, or the smoked brisket. Hey, so many things will fit in this, but I've been craving this ever since we started. So let me get some of that. I'm gonna get that one right there.
Oh man, no good, my friend. Be honest. No, be honest. Come on.
Make you want to dig them taters first. You got to dig them, throw them up over there, and you got to wash them around, round.
What's that?
I cannot do that, by the way. Damn.
It's what I call really good. That's a bird dog point. That's something you want to eat. I'm going to have one more bite of this, folks. But you see, I done kept these morsels of scraps left over for my fine participants that have been out here with me throughout the day. Big, you're first because you're the old timer. Cletus, I'm going to wait and give you the whole bowl here in a minute because I know what you can eat.
Those dogs are so
There's
lucky.
Lulu.
And they don't
Where
even
you
know
at there,
it.
Schnauzer? There he is. Cletus, can you know anything about eating out of a bowl?
You know what? They show a lot of love for the beagle. Actually, rest in peace. It's kind of sad. I'm joking, but it is. It was a tremendous dog. I also, when I was a kid, I had a. What's the name of? Is actually the beagle. You know the. They call the beagle, but the brand of the dog is actually the beagle, right? The race, better saying. But this one, I found this one, the little one, very cute.
No?
His head's too big.
Now, don't forget to comment about Ariat over there about my wardrobe, because I need y'all's help. I want to see what y'all pick out for me to wear. So remember, check that website out of theirs and then comment what you'd have me wear. It is with great pride, honor, and privilege that I tip
Thank
my
you, my
hat
friend.
to all our servicemen and women and all the veterans who have kept that old flag a-flying. We commend you, we do. Rest of you, now I'm going to tell you something. Be sure and keep an eye on our events page, because there are still a lot of things coming up. The intimate evenings there. Come on in here tight, because it's fitting to happen. I'm going to give you a loaded baked potato hug. Come on, get up in here close, because I'm going to mash you in them taters. There we go.
Oh,
God
man,
bless
the
you,
American
each
power.
and every one, and I'll see you down the biggest loaded baked
Thank you, my
potato
friend.
trail you ever trailed on.
Could I eat that?
Cletus says, I'll eat steak.
Where's Duker?
I don't, Duker is probably on vacation.
Oh man, I really like this channel. I love all the dogs and stuff like that. I say this all the time. We don't deserve dogs, my friends. I think they are such a gift from God. This video is a bit old. I'm not sure if all of the dogs. I know the beagle is not, sadly, but I'm not sure if all the other dogs are still with Kent Rawlings. But either way, it's a fantastic channel, my friends. So thank you so much for watching this with me, and leave a like if I should try this one, because if you guys leave a like, I will do it. See you guys in the next one. Bye, my friends.